Welcome to r/Am I the Devil, where OP takes out a payday loan for an anime party. Our next Reddit post is from r/Am I the Butthole. Am I the butthole for taking out a payday loan so I can go to Level Up Expo and get my cosplay right? My parents are furious with me, to the point of cutting me off. This is one of those things where I see myself as being 80% right, but I want to be fair because honestly, I depend on my parents for a lot of stuff. Rent, tuition, food, car insurance. I'm huge into cosplay and gaming. It's been my dream to go to a big convention in my cosplay. A friend suggested we go to Level Up since it has everything we like. The badges aren't super expensive, but we decided we wanted to super splurge on accommodation, so maybe we could host parties in our room. So the total cost of my trip, including everything, airfare, room, food, badge, is around $3,500. I had $2,000 that I was supposed to pay towards my credit card, but I decided to get the rest through a payday loan. This was back in March, so the trip is all paid for. I wanted to keep it a secret from my parents, but I accidentally missed my first payment to the payday loan. And for some God knows how reason, the people at the payday loan place did a search for my name since I was ducking their calls until I could borrow some money from a friend. And they called my parents' home number looking for me. I can't even imagine this is legal. So here's the deal. I'm like so dense that I don't even understand that I messed up. I mean, I know that I need to pay my debts, but here's the deal. I mean, I'm only in college once, and I only get to go to things like Level Up when I'm young. I also think this was a very normal mistake, and my parents should give me enough room to make mistakes and learn from them. But my parents are freaking the hell out. My dad has basically said, this is it, that after the credit card debt and my grades and now the payday loan and missing a payment, I've shown a level of irresponsibility that he can't trust me anymore. And I either have to move home to go to a community college and work for his company, or he cuts me off for good. As harsh as that was, my mom was even worse. And she literally screamed at me, like cussing names, and told me that they didn't raise me like this, and that I was acting like a spoiled Instagram butthole. For clarification, I'm a 20-year-old girl. I'm not sure which part of OP I dislike more. Just how much she's naive and clueless about the world, or how spoiled and entitled she is. So her parents pay for everything, so she borrowed money from a credit card company, and then borrowed money from a payday loan place, and then she wanted to borrow money from friends to pay the payday loan place. OP is just a money black hole. OP, taking a payday loan to have a extravagant anime party is one of the dumbest things I've ever read on this subreddit. Our next Reddit post is from r/relationship advice. I'm a 33-year-old guy and my wife is 31. We've been married for 4 years. The start of the relationship was rainbows and flowers. I wanted to do everything for her. She came from a not so financially stable family. She had never worn expensive clothes, never been on a trip or to a proper restaurant. I was actually very excited that I'd be her first time for all these experiences. I wanted to give her the life she never had. I wanted to provide and protect her. She's the kind of woman who loves you to the fullest. She loves me unconditionally. She cooked for me, she cleaned the house, did my laundry for me, all while having an 8-hour-a-day job, same as me. To be honest, I felt she was happy to do all this for me. She even tried to learn new recipes for me. Life started going south when I started gambling. I gambled everything. My savings, her savings, my salary, and I even stole from her. Still, she didn't leave. I started dumping all my frustrations on her. I became a sadist. It got to the extent that I got relief when I saw her sad. I complained about everything she cooked, started threatening her to give me money for gambling, and made extremely hurtful comments. Despite all this, she stayed with me. When I look back, there wasn't even a single day for her without crying. Whatever I did, whatever I said, she never left me. And I had this confidence that she would never leave, so I started taking her for granted. She once made a comment that I treat her like a dog, and I replied, "You don't even deserve to be my dog." I can't fathom how hurtful that must have been for her. A few months back, she got pregnant, and we decided to not keep it. But while she was going through the process, rather than being supportive and helpful, for some God knows reason, I told her it wasn't my baby and that she was a whore who got pregnant. I think something broke inside of her from that time. She started being very silent altogether. However, she kept doing her chores and talked to me in a very polite way. Recently, I left my job. She prepared my resume and applied for me in all the companies. However, I never got a call. She somehow arranged an interview for me in her organization, and the interview was yesterday. I asked for a one-time password from her to create a new profile in a gambling platform, and threatened her that I won't attend the interview if she refused to give me the one-time password. But she still refused to give the one-time password, and out of spite, I did not attend the interview. She came back home from the office yesterday evening and started shouting at me. I saw a different her. She said too many hurtful things, which is unlike her. She asked me to leave the house. She said that I'm dead weight and staying at her house rent-free. Today I messaged her for something and she replied with, "Don't effing text me ever again. I don't want to effing see your name in my phone anymore." And she blocked me. I'm dead scared now. I have a feeling that I lost her. I know I messed up. I know I'm the worst person ever. I know she deserves way better. I now know that I'm losing her. I realize that I love her so much. I literally can't live without her. I just need one chance to redeem everything. I want to turn back time and undo everything. I'm ready for anything. I want to give everything for her. Please, I need advice. I want to win her back. Is there a chance for me still? OP, bold of you to assume that anyone in the comments is going to be on your side and want you to get back with her. Yeah, the top comment, haha, I'm glad she left you. True, facts. So happy this woman got out of this abusive marriage. True! You actually love her, stay away from her. True! Yeah, OP, there's no coming back from this. This is, you need therapy, my friend. Our next Reddit post is from Strong Power. Before we got married, my wife and I were very aligned on having multiple children. We talked about it as a real part of our future. We're financially very comfortable, work isn't a limiting factor, and building a larger family was something I genuinely looked forward to and planned my life around. After our first child, my wife changed her mind. Pregnancy and childbirth were much harder on her than she expected, and she now feels strongly that she's done. I respect that. I'm not trying to pressure her into another pregnancy or argue about her bodily autonomy. What I'm struggling with is everything after that decision. Her decision changed the course of my life too and what I envisioned, so I need her to see it. For me, this wasn't just, okay, we'll have one kid instead of 2 or 3. It felt like losing an entire future that I had already mentally committed to. And I feel like I'm expected to just accept that quietly and move on because she had a valid reason for changing her mind. Our couple therapist encouraged me to open up, and I told her that I need her to acknowledge that by changing her mind, I lost something real and that loss matters, even if she had every right to make the choices she did. I don't want this to be something I mull over while we pretend everything is fine. I need us to actually tend to it, not sweep it under the rug. Our therapist suggested to my wife that she does regular check-ins about how I'm coping, and the ability to grieve without it being framed as me trying to pressure her or guilt her into changing her mind. I also told her that since the future we originally planned isn't happening, I need the new one to actively include things that give my life the meaning I thought a larger family would provide. Not vague, someday ideas, but real priorities. For example, I'd like us to be deeply involved in my niece's and nephew's life, which means showing up consistently, helping with education, being a real secondary support system, not just seeing them on holidays. I also want our home to be a place where people gather for regular dinners, holidays, and open doors so life doesn't shrink inward into just the 3 of us. Where we really clash is emotional labor. I told her I need her not to shut the conversation down, minimize my feelings, or frame my sadness as manipulation. Instead, I need her to stay present even when it's uncomfortable, allow the topic to come up more than once, and sometimes acknowledge the loss herself, something as simple as saying, "I know this cost you something real, and I don't want to pretend that it didn't." I also said that staying together means this can't be a situation where I absorb all the loss, and she experiences this as neutral. This means accepting limits on other life preferences like career moves, lifestyle choices, or making room for things that inconvenience her but help restore balance. I'm not asking for another child. What I didn't say was, have another baby or else. But I did say that she can't say, this was my choice, so deal with it, and still expect our relationship to stay the same. She feels like I'm asking for too much, and that this makes her feel guilty for making a deeply personal decision after a difficult pregnancy. I disagree because I need her to work to get my trust after making such a big decision. Okay, so she doesn't want to have a baby, and your response is to weaponize that against her and to effectively punish her for the entirety of your marriage. Every single fight or disagreement becomes, well, you owe me one, so get over it. If I were that lady, I wouldn't want to have another baby with you either. Like, the post kind of started off reasonable. It's like he's dealing with his grief and, oh, I'm really sad about the situation, which is understandable. But then it turns into, well, I lost something, so I need my wife to suffer too, so that we both suffer equally. What? It sounds like she did suffer, OP. She suffered through a very difficult pregnancy and childbirth. You doofus! Am I the butthole for confronting my girl when I realized she took credit for something she didn't really do? So, a couple of days ago, my girl and I were celebrating, and she told me she made me chocolates as a gift. She was super excited about it, saying she spent hours on them. She works a little waitress job, so she doesn't have a ton of money. So I don't mind her cheaping out a bit compared to what I got her. I thought it was sweet that she tried. I didn't even know that she knew how to make sweets and stuff, because she always says that she can barely cook. Anyways, I asked her how she learned how to make it, and turns out she just melted pre-made chocolate and poured it into molds. She didn't even make any of the fillings herself either. She got store-bought caramel and fruit spread and stuff. Literally all of it was pre-made. She barely put in any effort at all, and then she was all proud of herself. Usually I try to let things go because she's so sensitive to criticism, but it just really irritated me that she tricked me like that, so I called her out on lying about it. She got upset and said she did make them because she put in so much effort. Halfway through arguing with me about if it's okay to lie to me or not, she just starts texting someone and saying she doesn't want to argue anymore. She ended up getting her sister to come pick her up, and she's been hanging out with her instead of me for the past 2 days. Her sister called me a dick on her way out too, which kinda makes me think my girl lied to her about making the chocolate. Otherwise, I don't know why she'd be mad at me. At first, I was really sure that I was right, but maybe I need to be more forgiving of it? Like, at the end of the day, I know she's not a great cook, so maybe I should have expected it not to actually be from scratch. She's usually really sweet and texts me a lot, but she hasn't been talking to me much the past couple of days, so I'm starting to feel like maybe I overreacted. Down in the comments, I'm gonna read this post from Not AJ Jones. Dude, my girlfriend knows how you feel. For Valentine's Day, I made her a prime rib roast with garlic mash and baby carrots. The problem is, I didn't raise the cow, butcher it, and then prepare the roast. Instead, I bought the meat from the store and cooked it. And that's not all. I didn't grow the potatoes, the garlic, or the carrots. She got mad that I bought those too. And don't get me started about the dishes. Those came from IKEA. All I did was spend 2 hours prepping, cooking, serving, and cleaning. What a knob I am. You're the butthole, man. Yeah, the audacity of that that woman to not fly to South America and plant a cocoa tree and raise it from a sapling and then harvest the cocoa beans. OP, are you really this stupid? You're a moron. You want her to go milk the cows and grow a harvest of sugar cane to get sugar, and then drive to the ocean and collect salt water and evaporate it to get salt? OP, you're a doofus! Our next Reddit post is from r/inlaws. My son is in the army, and his contract is coming to an end soon. Last time my son and his wife were home, they were talking about what comes next. They were talking about requesting the base that's only 2 hours away from us. They originally wanted to do that to be closer because my daughter-in-law's siblings were having their first baby soon. One of my daughters will be engaged soon, my other will graduate soon, and they missed being around everyone they love. However, during these conversations, my daughter-in-law would make offhand comments about moving farther away than where they do live now. Like, but if we wind up getting put farther away, that'll be okay too. And even, I wouldn't be mad if we could put somewhere cool like Europe. That should have told me then. After they went home, my son put in requests for his next duty session. His sister called him the day before, and he apparently still planned on requesting close to home. Last week, my son got his orders to where they'll live for the next 3 years. And guess what? It's somewhere cool like Europe. My son called me 3 days ago to inform me that they'd be moving to Germany in the fall. He sounded heartbroken. He says his request for home got denied and Germany wasn't his choice. My daughter FaceTimed my daughter-in-law and was talking to her about it. My daughter-in-law says they're excited, but were shocked and disappointed at first. But funny enough, my daughter-in-law is already several lessons deep into learning German. My daughter-in-law has gone on to say that this is the perfect time for them to move overseas because they're young and not planning on kids. But I just don't understand how things are so perfect if this isn't what she wanted. My son has also talked about how they would visit home every Christmas, but my daughter-in-law has started talking about how she's excited to see their Christmas traditions and such. So now I'm starting to worry that she'll not want to visit home. And unfortunately, it's her way or the highway much of the time. Another thing that's been upsetting is hearing all about how my daughter-in-law's family plans to visit them in Europe, especially when they know that it would be extremely difficult for us to afford visiting them. Not to mention, I absolutely hate flying. Now, my daughter-in-law is posting TikTok after TikTok, preparing to move to Germany. We're so excited to move to Germany. Learning German dessert recipes before we move to Germany, just over and over again, and it's starting to feel like it's being rubbed in. Listen, I understand that they're grown and can do whatever they want, but my son didn't want to move overseas, and up until now talked about how much he didn't want to move overseas. And no matter how old my kids get, going 3 years without seeing them and hearing from them minimally due to the time change will always be something I don't want. OP, you're acting as if she personally forced the army to pick Germany. Your son is an adult. I'm sure he understands that if he puts in a request for the army, it's just a roll of the dice. You have to go where they tell you to go. So what would you rather her do? Sulk? Complain? Whine? Argue? Fight with her husband? It sounds like she's making the best of it and trying to live a good life. Sounds like a nice daughter-in-law, to be honest. That was r/Am I the Devil, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.